The rate of unemployment is becoming alarming. And so everybody is turning to become an entrepreneur, trying to create something for themselves. Now, in this video, we are going to look at 5 tips for finding profitable business ideas. Finding a profitable business idea is the first step to starting a successful business. If your business will be successful, it will depend on the ideas you have. It will depend on what you are looking at. So, as I said earlier, in this video, we are going to look at 5 tips in finding a profitable business idea. The first step that I want to talk about is identify problems and pain points. Identify problems and pain points. Now, look for problems or pain points in your own life or the life of the people around you. These can be opportunities to create solutions that can be turned into a profitable business. What are the problems around you? What are the pain points around you or in the lives of the people around you? Look at this man here. Do you know him? You may or may not know him. He is Dr. Joseph Sian Agyapong, the CEO of Zoomlion. Yes, Zoomlion. If you don't know of Zoomlion, Zoomlion is a waste management company in Ghana that is making millions of cedis. Now, how this man started this business is that he realized that there's a problem in Ghana. And the problem in Ghana is that Ghana is dirty. Recently, there was a statistics that showed that Accra is the dirtiest city in the world. And it's so pathetic. But then when this man identified the problem that Ghana is dirty and there is filth in Ghana, he decided to establish a company. And the sole aim of the company is to collect rubbish. And he is making millions of dollars out of collecting refuse. He identified a problem, a pain point. You want to start a business, but you don't know whether the business you want to start to be profitable or not. The first point is identify a problem. Look around you. What is the problem in your life? The community you are staying, the city you live in, the country you live in. What is the problem there? When you find what that problem is, when you find that pain point, then voila, your business is on the way to its success. So the first step I want to put across is then find a problem, find a pain point. And when you find that, you are first step ahead of creating a successful business. Now, the next step that I want you to look at is research industry trends. Conduct research on industry trends to identify growing market or emerging technologies. Look for industries that are expanding or have high potential for growing. Now, after you have identified the pain points, you do a research on the industry that the problem you found, the solution, the industry that it's in. So, for example, taking Zoomlion as a case study, when he found that there was a problem with waste, he would then have to conduct a market research or an industry research on the sanitation industry to know whether there are people already in that business, whether there are potentials there, whether that industry is lucrative. You look at the technologies involved, the mechanism involved in that industry. When you consider all these things, your research finding will help you to know whether it is profitable to venture into that industry or not. So after you have found your problem, after you have found your pain point, before you think of considering that into a business, you have to do your market research to know whether that industry is profitable for you to enter in or not. Because if you do not do that research, my dear, you are on your way to failure, because you will enter into that business and maybe you find out that the reason why probably nobody is getting into that sector is that it is very not profitable. So you put in all your resources and realize that you are running at a loss. And also consider your capabilities and your abilities before you consider turning that idea into a business. So when you consider this step very well, you are on your way to creating a profitable business. The next point I want to talk about is analyze your consumer needs. You have done your research, you found your pain point, you've researched about your industry and stuff, you have to analyze the needs of the consumer, the people you want to create that business for. Analyze their needs. You have your pain point, all right, you have your problem, all right, but then what do they need to solve that problem? So you have to consider analyzing the need and wants of the consumers. One, in different industries, identify gaps in the market that can be filled by a new product or service. So when you did that, your research, you realize that you find that, okay, there is a gap here and this gap can be filled with a product or a service. Then you snap your finger, you are ready to enter into business. Consider the needs of your consumer. By so doing, you are on your way to creating a profitable business. The next point I want to talk about is consider your passion and your skills. After you've identified all these things, do you have passion for that industry? Do you have the skills for that industry? Consider your personal interests and skills. Look for business ideas that align with your passion and expertise, so that when you are rendering that service, you realize that this that I'm doing, I love it. I'm doing it because I love it, not necessarily for the money of it, but the money is also important. I didn't say that. Yes, so please consider your passion, your interest, your skill, your ability before you start any kind of business. Whether you have the skill for it, you have the capacity for it, you have the passion for it, whether you love it or not. So when you consider some of these things, it will help you greatly in coming out with a business idea that is profitable. When you are into a business that you have passion for, you work at it from your heart. And when you serve your clients from your heart, they tend to feel part of you and they tend to love you more and they want to do more business with you. The last point I want to talk about is evaluate the competition. Evaluate the competition. Analyze the competition in your target market. Identify what they are doing well and look for ways to differentiate your business from theirs. There is nothing new under the sun. Whatever idea that you have, mind you, someone somewhere is doing it. Study it. Identify what they are doing so well, what they are doing not so well. And then that will inform you the strategies to map in executing your business. So you have to be different. Your approach has to be different from your competitors. Your way of executing business does not have to be the same way as your competitors. Let your audience have a reason to come to you and not to go to your competitors. Sometimes it's not always about pricing. Sometimes it's not always about communication, but sometimes too it is about your human relation. Look out for all these things, add them to your product or services, and trust me, you are on your way to creating a profitable business. If you don't consider some of these things, they will come back and bite you, trust me. So, in your quest to starting a profitable business, you have to consider all these things, weigh them, and then that will guide you to know whether you are on your way to success or not. Consider these 5 points that Consider these 5 pointers that I've listed there, and it will help you to create a profitable business for yourself. When your business starts growing, come and pay tithe, because I've given you the ideas you need. My name is Bra Kwaku Simon. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Turn on the post notification so that whenever I release a new video, you get the first-hand notification. I'll see you in my next video.